Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're back, you're watching Saturday Night Live. With me is Brother Abdul Haq, better known as Sugar Ray Clay Jones Jr. or Anthony Small. Brother, you saw the footage. How did you feel about it? What are your thoughts?
Well, Aki, first of all, you're my brother in Islam, and I love you, fi sabilillah. Therefore, I'm going to give you some nasiha here.
Okay. I like
first,
that.
I've got to ask you a question first.
Of course.
How long have you been presenting this show for?
3 years.
MashaAllah. So you're pretty secure in your job at the moment.
Alhamdulillah.
Stick to it. Stay where you're at.
Right, because...
Coordination between your hand and feet's all wrong. Right. Your chin's in the air, your hands are slow. You look like you've got a glass chin, and your nose is a bit too pointed, because if it gets caught, you're going to break, and it's just all... The belly's... I could go on and on and on.
But you know what? That's my strategy.
I will go on and on because you've insulted me 2.5 times already.
Okay.
So I'm able to. You've got big gut. You're just not built for it. What can I say?
But you know what? It's all well and good you saying that, but we're a completely different weight class anyway. You would be aspiring to my weight class, and it would probably take you several years to get there. So I already have that one up over you.
Several years of eating big fat burgers and greasy kebabs. But what you've got to understand is weight classes doesn't actually signify level of ability. You could be a heavyweight and be absolutely rubbish. You could be a lightweight and be the world champion. The weight, so you only box in according to your weight class. Therefore, you would be, I'll say, what'd you say, you're about 12 stone? You would be about 2 weights above
That's
the
right,
middleweight. You'd be super middleweight, but it doesn't mean anything.
You'd be aspiring.
It doesn't mean anything about technical ability. And your technical ability compared to even a 11-year-old in the gym,
right,
is slim next to none.
But maybe I want to come across like an 11-year-old in the gym, because that will then completely confuse the opponent. They'll think, hold on, he's an amateur, and then I've got my hands like that, glass chin and all, and all of a sudden I just turn around and whack and he's on.
Yeah, but your hands are so solid you won't get the punch there in time.
That's probably very true. Okay, so now you completely...
got you back from what you were saying about me earlier.
Absolutely, and you've ripped that performance.
Eye for an eye and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Stuck for Brother, it's Ramadan. How can you be like that?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Good, is it?
Astaghfirullah.
You're not learning anything?
I know, subhanAllah. I'm supposed to have taqwa in this month, and look at me acting jahil. But mashallah, I'm a bald baby Muslim. I've only been on the deen for 2 years, so please excuse me for my jahil manners.
No, that's right, and me too. I do apologise. But I'd say this, joking aside, boxing is very difficult. I know that because I found it very difficult when I was doing the sparring with Danny Williams. Mm-hmm. He is super fit. He was doing, just training-wise, he was doing 14 10-minute rounds of bag work. Then he's like running 10 miles in the morning. I mean, that's, really super fit. That's commitment. And even after a while, when you're just hitting a bag for several minutes, you just get very, very tired.
You do get very tired.
If you're not used to that, you've got to have a lot of stamina. Full respect, it is difficult. It's not easy. So, however much I big it up and big myself up, I'm just doing it for fun. But full respect, it does take a lot of energy. Even though I think I could beat you. So let's go back to There's going
to be a part 2 to this show. You keep forgetting. You got a sharp memory, sir.
So let's go. All joking aside, let's go to how you found Islam. Mm-hmm. You came to Islam. It's only been a couple of years. You
just
said
come
that
up to 2 years now, mashallah.
You converted to Islam. Just tell us about what the journey was up until that point.
Basically, I was born a Christian, but for a number of reasons, Christianity didn't sit with me. But I always believed in a God. Obviously, because I'm a fighter. As fighters, if you ever sit with a fighter, regardless of whether it would be people want to call it arrogant Chris Eubanks or a humble Danny Williams, as fighters, we are very humble within ourselves, because as if in any other sport, i.e. football, Dave Beckham could pass the ball to I don't know nothing about football, Michael Owen or Wayne Rooney. Pass the ball to Wayne Rooney. Sure. Wayne Rooney scores a terrific goal. But there's always an element of Wayne Rooney's mind that thinks it was because of Dave Beckham's pass. And there's always an element of Dave Beckham's mind that thinks it was because of Wayne Rooney's finish, But in boxing, in fighting, when you're fighting, it's all upon you. So there's that element of, subhanAllah, you can't do it when you're upon your own will. So what was the question again? I go on a little bit sometimes.
But how you discovered Islam?
That was it. Basically, I think I'm too many punches there. I've got an
That's
excuse.
what I was gonna
I'm a boxer. I do rabbit along a little bit.
we
Sorry,
tried to make
Saturday night viewers, refresh me. Where was I going with this story? I'm gonna come back to this.
Let me ask.
Okay, yes, that's it. No, I've got it back. No, don't stop me. I've got it. So I've always had an element of God. So although Christianity didn't sit with me, I always had an element that there's a creator because I'm not able to do all the things that I do, i.e. in the ring by myself. But at the same time, I looked at it like, subhanAllah. I didn't say subhanAllah at the time because I was a kafir. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like there's loads of different religions out there, isn't there? There's not one religion. There's not like hundreds of people following these different religions. There's millions of people worldwide following these different religions. But there can only be one religion, can't there? So I thought, when I found time, I'll sit down and I'll study all religions, decide which one's the truth, and follow that path. But alhamdulillah, surprised, out of nowhere, a friend of mine converted to Islam, a few friends converted to Islam, but one that was closer to me, a boxing friend called Dawood. Salaam alaikum, Dawood. And he basically broke down, and through him, the monotheistic concept of Islam was broken down to me, along with the polytheistic concept of all other religions. Therefore, I thought there was no way, along with the miracles, the Quran, the Sunnah, and Islam being a perfect way of life, I had no choice but to say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. But then the thing what I find with people, when Islam's broken down to them from start to finish, with all the concepts, whether they want to ally Islam through the Prophet ﷺ's marriage to Aisha or multiple wives, all these things can be broken down and explained in grave detail to our understanding of, even to the most lamest person. So people can never when Islam's broken down to them in an open mind and open heart, they never reject it. However, what stops them from taking their shahada and entering Islam, they think, subhanAllah, I've got to give up drinking, I've got to give up smoking, I can't fornicate.
So a lot of people think about the obstacles
absolutely.
But
mashallah, because of boxing, being disciplined, I think I didn't really drink in the first place. Because of training being so rigorous, fornication wasn't really top of my agenda. I didn't smoke, didn't really used to go out. So you're telling me to drop out all these things that I don't actually do anyway. So then the thing what really was a mental thing for me was to start establishing the 5 daily prayers. But I thought, subhanAllah, I just came to the deen and just started to establish my prayers slowly but surely. And alhamdulillah, Allah preserved me upon the path of guidance and inshallah guide me to the Surat al-Mustaqim.
You mentioned that, actually I wanted to ask you, did you have any misconceptions or preconceived ideas about Islam before? Was there anything that you saw of Islam that made you think, well, I'm not quite sure, or that maybe jaded your view of it in any way?
There was actually 2 planes flying into Twin Towers, but alhamdulillah, that didn't in no way affect when Islam was broken down to me. It didn't affect me in any way. But that's the only real vision that I had of Islam and Muslims, mashallah. But when Islam was broken down to me, that was probably the last vision on my mind. Once you get inside and get past all that. But
I'm sure you agree that was a very sad day, and this is actually an act which is something which is not allowed in Islam anyway.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
So another point actually is, so what did your family think? Well, was there a point that you decided to tell them, or did you just simply come to Islam, you embraced Islam, and then you told them? How did that work? Well,
really, a lot of people ask me that question, like, what did your parents say? What did your family say? But it's not really, it wasn't really a big deal because I moved out of home when I was like 16. But when I say 16, I mean 15, just turned 16, living by myself. Mashallah, I was doing an apprenticeship in Kent. So even when it came down to so many different things, I'm so independent, I just basically acted in for my parents after, because I'm kind of that kind of independent person. So accepting Islam, mashallah, they didn't have a problem with it. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And how did others react around you? Because again, in the boxing world, there are a lot of fighters that seem to have come to Islam.
Come to Islam.
There's we can name a lot of them. There's Chris Eubank. There's Danny Williams, Mike
Tyson.
Michael Bent, wasn't he another?
I think so. Yes, I think so.
I understood that he came to Islam as well. I'm sure there are those which we haven't mentioned.
Yeah, there's many boxers that come to Islam.
The boxing world is small, but how did people react? Or was it just something which no one really paid much attention to? Or did you have people around you when you told them that they were really intrigued and wanted to know why?
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing, because when you're in the public eye and you're in any type of thing, whether you be, even if you're working in an office and you're a doctor or whatever, you're working in an office and you're at a level where people look up to you, or not even look up to you, but you're a known figure in any form of institution, and you turn to something like Islam, people are always going to be intrigued to hear your story.